Good morning, scholars. Today we're going to continue our way through Far's Homeric Greek, looking at lines 503 to 516 of Book 1 of the Iliad. This is where Thetis begins her appeal to Zeus. Zou pater epota dese, met atana toisen onesa, wepe wergoi. Tode moi creenon eweldor. Ti me son moi huion. Hosoku moro tato salon eplet. Ata men nunge. Wanak sandron agamemnon ti me sen. Helon ga eke geras. Autos apuras. Alla supermen tison, Olympia me tieta Zeus, to pradepi tro essente te kratos, opanakaioi, vion emon tisosen, opelos enterve me. Hos pato, ten duti prosepe, nepele gereta Zeus, al akeon de esto. Thetis dos hepsato gunon, hoseketempe buia, kai ereto de uteron autis. Ne meteres mende moi, huposke o kaikata nuson, apo wep, epe toi etic de os, op wedo, hoson ego meta pasin, ati motate de os me. Okay, so zu pater epotedese, met atana toisen onesa. So zu pater is vocative, and you can compare the English Jupiter, zu pater, Jupiter. Onesa is from one neme, which is to be of service to, be of benefit to, or to help. And so here we have one, ona. Well, there's a fine point regarding the form of this verb that you can look at. It's my page 709. Wepe wergo, to de moi creenon eweldor. Ti me son moi on, hosoku moro tato salon. So ti me son, the iota is always long in these stems. So ti me son, this is a first aorist imperative to show honor towards. Timao. Time, of course, is honor. Oku moro tatos, on whom fate is coming swiftly. This is a very poetic way of saying short-lived, the most short-lived of others. Oku moro tatos. So wepe wergo, either by word or by deed. Ta de moi creenon eweldor. Exactly the same phrase that was used when the priest made his appeal to Apollo. Ti me son moi vion, hosoku moro tato salon, eplet. So the syntax carries over to the next line. Epleto is second aorist from pelomai. There's no distinction between the middle and the active, but this is a poetic verb meaning to be. So, eplet, who was or who is. Atar men nun gel wanax andron agamemnon sen. So atar is like altar, and it may be either adversative or progressive. Here, atar is adversative, and we'll look a little more at this word. So altar men nun ge. Altar is prepositive. That means it comes first in this clause, and it's usually poetical, but is found in Xenophon and Plato. It is an adversative conjunction commonly used to introduce a strong or surprising contrast. But yet, however. Sometimes to introduce a slight contrast, and then. But always a contrast that's stronger than one that would have been marked by simple de. Altar is common as a correlative to men. Here there's no such correlation. It is often found in lively questions to introduce an objection, in rapid transitions, and sometimes it serves to introduce the apotheosis of a conditional sentence. Atar was largely displaced in the later language by the stronger Allah. So, Thetis here is arguing or pointing out to Zeus that even though Achilles has been made okumoro tatos alon, atar, all the same, however, but yet, men nun ge wanax andron agamemnon sen. Alla super mentison Olympia metietazus. So tison, again, that iota is always long. So tison is a first aorist active imperative, to bring into honor, to exalt, to glorify. So alasu, and so the alasu is this remedy, and the second person personal pronoun super mentison, Olympia metietazu. The su along with the vocative is very emphatic. So metieta is vocative counselor or divisor, and again consult the various forms of Zeus, and we see that the simple stem zu is your vocative. So, alla super mentison, Olympia metietazu. So let's consider what the pair is doing here. Alla super mentison. So, determinative pair denotes, quote, that the speaker concentrates on one thing to the exclusion of other things, with or without the definite envisionment of some other particular thing thus excluded or contrasted. So when both contrasted ideas are strongly expressed, as here, pair may appear in the first or in the second or in two coordinated clauses. When it occurs in the second clause, as here, pair occurs usually with pronouns. So we see super. In this case, pair almost equals ao, quote, in your turn, since on the one hand, Agamemnon has mistreated Achilles so badly, a la super, but you, on your side, you honor him. Thetis is making the case. A la super mentison, Olympia metietazu. To fra de Petro esitete, kratos op an agaioi, Wion emoi ti so sen, opelo setewe ti me. So here we have a nice coordination of to-pra, ho-pra, for as long as, until. So, to-pra, depi, tro esi, tete, kratos. And kratos is might or energy, martial energy, power. So, place upon the Trojans, might, for so long as, op an akaioi, until the Achaeans, etc., etc. So we have to, pra, de, plus the imperative, tete, and then op, an, plus the subjunctive. And so opra, until, is used like heos in Attic, and we see that as Goodwin tells us, when a clause with eos or hopra refers to the future and depends on a verb of future time, eos or opra has an or ke and the subjunctive, just like a conditional relative clause. So you can look at Goodwin 529 and also Smythe 2399, 2401, and 2565 for a closer examination of what's afoot here. So to pra depi tro esen tete kratos op anakai oi wion emon ti sosen opelos setewe ti me. So epitete, as we've already implied, is an imperative to bestow X upon someone. And kratos is neuter, so here it's the accusative. Mastery, victory, the upper hand. And so to pra depe tro ese tete kratos. And how long does she want him to do this, or until when? Until op anakai oi wion emon ti so sen opelo setewe ti me. So opelo is to exalt or magnify, and the time is a dative of the means. And Wilcox, he spells this out by saying, or translates the meaning, unpacking it as, improve his standing by paying him compensation. For wion emon ti so sen opelo sen tewe ti me. So that is really his unpacking of opelo setewe ti me. Improve his standing by paying him compensation. Somewhat of an overtranslation, but it does get the idea, and we'll see that this is actually how it plays out, or could have played out. Hospato, tein du te prosepe nepele gereta zu, al ake on dein hesto, thetis dos epsato gunon. Now, it's good to just consider how artistically this is presented and the tininess of this detail. Hos pato, thus she spoke. Okay? And so we get the full stop. Tein du te prosepe, nepele gereta Zeus, al ake on dein esto. And so we have just this pause here. First, cloud gathering Zeus did not answer her. Tein du te, not at all did he answer her. Al ake onde esto. But he sat there a long time silently. So I just think it's marvelous the way the depiction of Zeus here is so exact and well defined. I mean, originally we find him setting all by himself on a rocky height apart from the other gods. And when Thetis does approach him with her request, he doesn't answer immediately, but indeed he doesn't answer her at all, but rather ponders, sitting silently as to how he might or might not comply with her request. So I just think that we see Zeus's remove, both physically and psychically, from the other gods, the weight of his responsibilities and his magnificence, which will, in the subsequent scenes, be balanced in a truly delightful manner. So, Nepele Gereta, excuse me, I missed a syllable, but Nepele Gereta is masculine nominative for cloud gatherer. Nepele is a cloud, and Ager is from ago, to gather. So cloud gathering Zeus. Akeon akusa, we've seen this before, in silence without speech. Dane, for long time, long, and esto, from amai, imperfect, he was sitting there. Al akeon de esto. Thetis dos epsatogunon hos eket empepuia. So it's interesting to focus on the hos, which inasmuch as so. So Thetis dos epsatogunon hos eket empepuia. So Thetis, the hos, and Thetis, insomuch as epsatogunon. Epsato, of course, is to fashion oneself to grasp, from hapto, first aorist, and eketo, the middle, to cling. So she clung, or stuck to, and empepuia is a feminine perfect participle, and so impuo is like the way a vine grows around or upon something. So this is the vision of her wrapping her arm around his legs, showing that she's not going to let him off that easily. So Thetis dos epsatogunon, hoseket empepuia, kai ereto deuteron altis. Now, ereto, of course, from eromai, to ask and inquire. Deuteron, neuter adverbio, a second time, altis, again. Kai ereto deuteron altis. Ne meteres mendemoi, hu boske okai katanuson. So here, let's look at this mende. This is quoting Dynaston. In a few passages in epic and elegiac poetry, de strengthens an affirmative, i.e. emphatic, men. And here it occurs with the imperative. Emphatic men, quote, broadly speaking, preparatory men already fully developed in Homer, aus emphatic men from the field in the 5th and the 4th centuries, and in many cases which appear at first slightly emphatic are really elliptically antithetical. It is often difficult to distinguish one type from the other. In Homer, Hesiod, Pindar, and Ionic verse, men, like other emphatic particles, immediately follows the emphasized word. Most frequently, that word is a pronoun. Less frequently, an substantive, adjective, adverb, or verb. So here it follows ne metes, And we'll see what that means in a second. Ne metes mende moi, hu poske okai kata nuson. So, ne metes is a vocative singular masculine, meaning unerring, making no mistakes. And huposkeo is from hupiskomai, to promise, a second aorist imperative middle. And kata neuson is the bodily act of promising, literally to depress the chin, to nod in token or sanction of an assent. So it can mean kata nauo can mean to promise, but it literally is this act of just bowing the head. So again, the augustness of Zeus, that he simply has to bow his head in order to assent that something will be done. So ne metes mende moi, hopeske okaikata neuson. E apawep epe utoi ete de os. So a or apowep, apowepon, refuse. So either say yes or say no, she says. Epe, and here epe equals episte. There is. And you notice the way the accent is on the first syllable of epe. That is your key that you're actually looking at, the form, shortened form episte. And so there is in a specified or indicated place, affecting or characterizing a specified or indicated person or the like. And this occurs with or without the dative. But here we have it with toi equals soy. There epe utoi epe deos. And deos is reason or cause for fear or apprehension. And we'll see that this is not truly the case, but it sets us up for what will follow. E apoep epe utoi ete deos. She's saying, well, Zeus, you can do whatever you want. So just refuse me or promise that you're going to do it. Op uwe do, hoson ego metabasen, ati motatete ose me. So op plus the subjunctive, so that, wedo, of course, from oida, so that I might know, hoson ati motate emi. Okay, how completely unhonored or without honor I am as a god. Okay, so zu pater edese met atana toisen onesa, ewe be ewe go, to de moi cre enon eweldor. Ti me son moi we on. Hos oku moro tato salon eplet. Atar men nun ge, wanaxandron agamemnon eti me sen. Elon ga ekegeras, autos apuras. Ala supermenti son, Olympia me tietazu, to fra de petro esitite kratos. Op an akaioi, wion emon tisosen, opelos sentewetime. Hos pato. Ten duti prosepe nepele gereta Zeus, al ake onden esto. Thetis dos ipsato gunon, hos eket empepuia, kai ereto de uteron autis. Ne meteres mende moi, huposke okaikanta nuson. E apoep, epe utoi epe de os. Op eu wedo, hoson ego metapasen, ati motate deos eme. Okay, so there we have it. Thetis's appeal to Zeus. We'll be back with his reply and the denouement of Book 1 of the Iliad. Keep working hard, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day.